Alright, hey guys, welcome to week 4, assignment 3. This time we're doing more panoramic images, but a little bit more like mosaic, kind of photo mosaic assignment here. So for this video, we're going to be looking at Jared's work, at Cassie's work, and at Ashley's work. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. And let's take a look at David's contact sheet. So in his, we have this shed that he has photographed. I'm just going to go ahead and let that run, okay? And let's just take a look. So you got the right idea here. So whereas the last one, you had your camera on a tripod, you were basically just starting from one side and turning it so many, such an amount shot. With this, it doesn't have to be, and you can see here that it wasn't. You don't have to worry as much about lighting everything up. I've had some students in the past who've really gone kind of, made their images really kind of off kilter and weird and done all kinds of stuff. But the idea was just really that you create more of less of a proper panorama and more of a like a mosaic, like a bunch of different smaller pieces that make up a larger image when put together. But they're not like in straight rows and columns. So alright, so we have all these kind of different things that you can see here, and let's take a look at some of his different photo mosaics. Let's start with this one. So this one's pretty straightforward. It's left to right, and you can see one thing that happens with a lot of these if you're not as careful to line them up is you get stuff like this. I'm actually totally fine with that. The only thing I don't see here on yours, David, is, or I always call you David. I'm sorry, Jared. It's because it's in your, yeah. Anyway, the only thing I don't see is it looks like you maybe cropped it down to fit this kind of panorama thing. And, it would have been okay to leave kind of the edges in and see that. A lot of times I think that ends up being a cool effect. Excuse me. Excuse me. But yeah, you get this, again, another really cool example of a panorama here. And so yeah, not everything lines up, but a lot of times you can get some really kind of interesting results out of these. So let me take a look at the other versions, because he had a couple other versions that I thought were pretty cool. So that's the one we're looking at. Here is this one. It's a little bit tighter, but you got kind of the emulsion edges and a kind of Santa-type. I like this. I do like some of the things that are happening with, sort of, as I've discussed previously, when you sort of make something black and white or more monochromatic like this is, it really focuses your eye in on sort of the formal elements. So you have some nice stuff going here where you have like this kind of nice tonal range right on the edge here, sort of some stuff there. Like this gets highlighted, the difference between this grass and sort of white snow, and it's sort of, I start like my eyes are doing this a lot. They're kind of going around there and kind of looking in here, and it's a good use, I think, of geometric shapes. Like I like how that's becoming emphasized in this, and the edges are actually pretty cool too. I like how it's like they're kind of coming in along these the branches. I think that's a cool effect, as well as down here. Actually, it's one of the things I like the most about this, I think, is these edges and this kind of cool branchy look there. So let me go ahead and get it around. And then there was one final one that Jared had that I also wanted to look at here, which was this one. This is, again, kind of that same thing. This is also really cool. I like the black and white here. I like the edges, and I think this actually, can we, oh, I already closed the color version. I would say this actually functions better as a black and white. I do like sort of to see the tonal difference between what's happening here and the snow. So that I do really like this rough edge quite a bit. And I like the pano. I like the sort of side to side, again, horizontal length of it. You do sort of, you lose some of these things going here, but yeah, I like it. I would say this is the best version of it. Very nice work, Jared. Very nice. I'm impressed by that. All right, let me go ahead and close that. And next we'll look at Cassie's work. All right, and then so here we have, excuse me, and you can see her images and sort of, again, they're not, it's not that set the tripod in one place, go, left to right, start on one end, click, 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 going across. So there definitely is, again, that sort of more of a mosaic thing, which is what we're looking for. And let me see how it looks. Excuse me, I like this one. I think that this, I can't remember if he did a black and white. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was looking for a specific one. I guess it was this black and white one. Let's see. Yeah. I like this quite a bit. I think this is good as a black and white. It's not bad as a color, although I would say the color version, you probably want to come in here and sort of bring down a little bit of this blue. You have these open shadows, which are, as discussed previously, notoriously have a lot of blue in them. But I think actually, again, like the black and white version, because as we discussed earlier, there is the sort of highlighting of formal elements. I also think this just looks better as a black and white image. It kind of emphasizes some of these cool details like the cracks here and kind of the the plants growing on here, the sort of roughness of this. And this is just, I think, when you remove sort of the blueness here, you get like a nice, slightly lower end mid-tone here. That's kind of visually pleasing. This is actually really well laid out too. If you sort of look at like, you have a lot of these horizontal elements. So you have this, and it's sort of, this low on the left is sort of balanced over by here. It's like kind of an asymmetrical balance. And then you have the kind of house in the middle. The only thing I would say is maybe just want to see a little bit more of the roof. That's the only thing I think, like maybe chop it here so that you're not seeing that stop sign, or that stoplight, excuse me. And then just like a little bit more of the roof. Oops, sorry, I was trying to give you guys an impression of what that would look like. So you can imagine it without that blue area. Yeah. So again, I mean, that's something that's pretty simple to just crop right there. And the roof, I think the other thing too is you can just see a little bit of like some shadows of tree branches on here. I think that would, I kind of want to see a little bit more of that. But some very cool elements on that. Nice going, Cassie. I think one of your better images that I've seen so far. And let me see here. Okay. So last but certainly not least, we have Michelle's work. And according to her written portion, she used 40 images for this. So let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So almost all of the ones that we're seeing here. And yeah, I mean, again, obviously it's not like that panel, like what you do with the panorama where it's straight across. It's definitely more of a mix. And I thought that this came out really well. Let's take a look at her two different versions here. So this is the first one. I like this because it's really kind of a cool take on this. It's almost like, makes me think of like a fairy tale or something. Like this little girl is out in the woods and she kind of gets lost and she sits down on this kind of really big oversized stump. I almost kind of wonder how she gets up there because it doesn't look like she would be able to climb there. But it seems like the opening of a fairy tale, like in the deep, deep woods and she's sitting on a stump and then something's going to happen, like a witch is going to come or a troll or a monster or something. And then let me just, okay, and then here's the other version with the sort of rougher, kind of a little bit like emulsion edges, but not exactly. Let's see, between those two, oh, that's tough. You know what I would actually like to see? Actually, or you know what would be a cool addition to this is putting, like, you know, going into canvas size and doing like a little, like just a few, like a tiny, I don't know, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch black border on this. I think that would really kind of give it a, like, sort of accentuate that cool look that you were looking, you're kind of going after here, and sort of make it feel like a little bit more contained. But I think this is really cool. I want to zoom in just a little bit here to see if we can actually, how much detail we can go into. So yeah, it's pretty actually detail rich if you're looking at this. And oh, sorry, I made it just a little bit too far, but even like there, like, I think that this would be really kind of an awesome, because you can really get a lot of cool detail there. I think this would be a good image that you could print, like, I mean, again, depending on the size of your image, like, if you printed this out and put it on your wall, like, you know, maybe like a 20 by 20 or even like 30 by 30 if you get it that big, I think that would be a really cool sort of image to display, because it's really has a ton of narrative potential. It's really well shot. Like, this quality of light here is really cool. And like the light coming through the trees there is really nice. And it's just a really well put together image. Excellent job, Ashley. Excellent work on that one. I really like that quite a bit. So, having said that, I'm going to try to make this one a little bit shorter and doing just less people per video to sort of hopefully give you guys a little bit more time each while making the overall video shorter. So we just did 3 rounds before. And yeah, again, I feel like everyone did some really, all 3 of you did some work that is among the best work I've seen from you, if not, you know, the best, then certainly right up there near the best. What should you write below here to let me know that you watched the whole thing? You should write gray crayon, as in a crayon that is the color gray, because that's what I'm holding in my hand right now. Yeah, so excellent work, guys. I don't know, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I do want to get that point across that I thought you guys really did good, and I am proud of all 3 of you. So yeah, I will see you for next week's video critiques.